Chapter 2239, The Hidden King. Bing Lihuan's pupils dilated rapidly. Chaos reigned within her mind, and her hands trembled uncontrollably. Vector reversal. Under these circumstances, it was impossible to precisely deflect every single attack. Yet she had no choice but to activate her ability. "Everyone get out of my way!" Bing Lihuan roared, abruptly activating her ability. The launch of vector reversal was silent, as if it merely caused a simple shift in the world's rules. As dozens of multicolored black beams charged toward her, they blossomed mid-air like flowers, then transformed into a chaotic shower of light, like a meteor storm. Chaotic and unpredictable, they splattered everywhere, inevitably including a torrential flood hurtling toward Bing Lihuan's position. Bing Lihuan gasped as her ability, fragmented murmur, activated, forming a wide-area psychic barrier before her. Boom! 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 Explosions echoed as the chaotic energy streams slammed into her telekinesis shield, causing it to violently ripple. Bing Lihuan gasped for breath, her head splitting with pain. She was now incapable of precise calculations. Witnessing this, both Da Vinci and Brian, man and dog, flashed sly grins. "Carry on." Brian grinned, accelerating his assault. He relentlessly applied gravitational forces, more precisely, gravitational pull, from all directions, attempting to disrupt Bing Lihuan's psychic field. Gravity alone couldn't shatter the psychic barrier, but if the shield weakened, Bing Lihuan herself would be drawn toward it. The moment her stance faltered, Professor Da Vinci's vector cannon would fire, unleashing an endless torrent of vectors. Bing Lihuan had now completely lost her ability to calculate. The vector reversal was unleashed indiscriminately, and she could only rely on her most basic psychic barrier to withstand the exploding vector flood. Thus, her advantage vanished entirely. Through repeated collisions, she gradually revealed vulnerabilities. If this pace continued, Brian and Da Vinci would eventually wear her down. Yet even so, eliminating Bing Lihuan remained exceedingly difficult. After all, a white bishop-tier psychic with a 35,000 ability index wasn't some commonplace entity. Truthfully, if she chose to flee now, Da Vinci and Brian still wouldn't have a clear way to deal with her. But Bing Lihuan couldn't possibly escape. Da Vinci and Brian weren't particularly anxious either. Bing Lihuan had no reinforcements coming. Even at the Imperial Palace, at this very moment, Yang Xinxin, Lian Yu, and Bam had already arrived. Central District, Imperial Palace. Yang Xinxin, Lian Yu, and Bam walked along the broad avenue. The road stretched wide, over 100 meters across, ample space not just for humans, but even for lizard folk, wide enough for a dozen vehicles to pass side by side. No one dared approach the Central District, soldiers armed to the teeth had sealed off all access. Yang Xinxin lifted her head. She too wore black armor, a grade below Zhang Yi's demon god armor, forged from the materials of a high-ranked demon god's mecha. Through her transparent visor, she could see a powerful energy shield enveloping the entire outer perimeter of the palace. A faint smile touched Yang Xinxin's lips. She had long been aware of this, finding nothing unexpected. Lian Yu and Bam stood guard on either side of her, weapons drawn, like guardian deities. Yang Xinxin gestured to them, "Step back a little. Don't stand too close." Lian Yu nodded. Bam looked puzzled but moved aside, keeping a distance. Yang Xinxin slowly spread her arms, holding them level. A dark light ignited within her eyes, like a blazing sun encountering an eclipse, dark yet strangely luminous. "Come forth, fallen angel puppet." As her words fell, endless black smoke surged violently from her body, immediately billowing skyward. A terrifying aura enveloped the entire street. Lian Yu and Bam both widened their eyes, instinctively sensing danger. The entity about to emerge evoked primal fear even in them, Epsilon-ranked practitioners. Though they knew Yang Xinxin harbored no intent to harm them, this sensation felt akin to a deity treating all beings equally. Black clouds billowed upward with her long hair, coalescing into a colossal mass in the sky. A pair of hands, pure and jade-like, suddenly emerged from the darkness, their fingertips entwined with slender strands of black thread. At the ends of these threads, a massive fallen angel slowly descended, a form pieced together from shattered flesh. Liang Yu knew Yang Xinxin's abilities well. She had witnessed fallen angel puppets many times before. This time, however, it felt more real than the king's puppet, as if it weren't formed from rule-based abilities, but a truly living being. Liang Yu's heart trembled violently. Compared to her time at the Demon's Eye, Xinxin's power has grown even stronger. Most of the world's knowledge about the Tianhai City team centered on Zhang Yi. Perhaps some had studied Lu Karen, the super tech star. The others were merely researched as team members by association. Yang Xinxin, however, remained the most mysterious figure within the team, as she almost never participated directly in combat. Yet, there was one secret known only to Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin. Back at the final stage of the Tianyu Palace, 2 knights had chosen Yang Xinxin. Meaning, in terms of raw talent, she might even surpass Zhang Yi. She simply had no interest. If she wished, with her intellect and innate gifts, growing stronger would pose no difficulty. Queen Mother of the West Yang Xinxin, Rules Category Ability User, Ability Index, 32,000 points. The fallen angel puppet stood behind Yang Xinxin, its head, assembled from shattered corpses, devoid of any expression. Yang Xinxin raised her hand, and the pair of jade-white palms in the sky tugged at the threads. The fallen angel puppet's body stiffly began to move under its control. An enormous black longbow appeared in the fallen angel puppet's hands. Yang Xinxin assumed the posture of drawing and releasing an arrow, and the fallen angel puppet forcefully drew the black longbow. Snap snap. The taut bowstring emitted a sharp sound as a dark golden energy gathered upon it. Vast quantities of desire, power transformed into the force of rules, gathering in scattered points like stars clustering around the sun and moon. The longbow of judgment, the ruler's arrow, possessed the terrifying ability to alter the rules of the physical world. The fallen angel puppet's fingers released in an instant. The taut bowstring, carrying boundless rule energy, shot toward the heavens. The dark gold arrow traced a perfect arc, streaking straight toward the imperial palace. Chapter 2240, Golden Rain. High above the heavens, the dark gold arrow rapidly fragmented. A single arrow instantly transformed into a torrential downpour of dark gold light across the sky. Hundreds, thousands, billions. From one arrow, within less than a second, it became billions upon billions. The Emperor's capital's guards and security forces immediately sensed something amiss. A thunderous shout reverberated in every soldier's ears. Enemy attack! Weapons were raised in unison, and in an instant, the air around the imperial palace boiled with killing intent. Facing the endless golden hail of arrows, everyone stood ready for battle. Standing before the palace doors was a titanic figure clad in dark silver mechanical heavy armor, resembling a colossal titan. Commander of the Imperial Guards, Banqi, stood like a guardian deity before the palace doors, each hand gripping a massive, oddly shaped sword. The deep blue swords were nearly as long as his own body. Unlike human swords with handles at one end, these had handles positioned centrally, with curved crescent-shaped blades extending outward. Facing this hail of golden arrows whose origin was unknown, he gathered his focus and leapt upward, soaring above the palace. He intended to block these attacks with his own body. No matter what, the imperial family and nobles within the palace must not be harmed. The ruler's arrows struck the energy shield protecting the palace, yet encountered no resistance whatsoever. They pierced straight through the shield. Without any energy collision, they passed through as if through air. This sight left all the imperial guards and security forces stunned. Such an eerie attack was beyond their experience. Yet this momentary paralysis brought unimaginable consequences. The ruler's arrow plummeted in a parabolic arc, a torrent of billions of dark gold arrows blanketing the entire surrounding area. Many soldiers didn't have time to react before their bodies were pierced by the dark gold arrows. Some soldiers snapped to attention, immediately grabbing their weapons to shatter the arrows. But whether laser weapons or cold steel, their attacks couldn't destroy the dark gold arrows. They seemed as insubstantial as air. No, Air itself contained microscopic particles, yet the ruler's arrow was truly ethereal, more intangible than telekinesis itself. Wave after wave of golden arrows pierced countless soldiers. Initial terror gave way to bewilderment. For many soldiers discovered to their astonishment that these dark gold arrows, upon entering their bodies, didn't even shatter their armor, they simply merged into their flesh. No pain. Their armor, synchronized with their bodies in real time, displayed vital signs unchanged. What the hell is this? Confusion spread across countless faces. Commander Banchi of the Imperial Guard, however, recognized what this was. Facing the torrent of dark gold arrows overhead, he swung his crescent sword with a fierce thrust. A surging, deep blue sword light erupted upward, as if it would cleave the entire sky. Yet every dark gold arrow that touched it remained undamaged, continuing unabated toward his position. Are these arrows imbued with rule abilities? Banchi reacted instantly, swiftly sidestepping to deny the arrows any chance of striking him. As the second strongest warrior in Central City after Bing Li Huan, Banchi possessed lightning-fast reflexes. Those arrows simply couldn't hit his body. He immediately warned everyone, these arrows contain some kind of rule. Don't try to shatter or block them, just dodge. The arrow storm wasn't particularly fast, velocity had always been Yang Xinxin's weak point. But she never found this troublesome, instead, she delighted in it. Overwhelming power alone bored her. What she craved was the thrill of using her formidable intellect to crush enemies with merciless superiority. Take this moment, for instance. Though the arrows falling from the sky weren't swift, their sheer numbers were staggering. With thousands of Imperial Guards and the capital's security forces densely packed around the palace, evasion was extremely difficult. The sheer density of people meant they interfered with each other's movements. Thus, the dense hail of arrows fell, striking countless soldiers directly in the body with the ruler's arrow. No pain, no death, as if nothing had ever happened. These arrows not only struck the sentries on outer guard duty but also pierced through the palace walls as if they were nothing, directly hitting the attendants, maidservants, and numerous imperial family members within. They even penetrated the conference chamber where Emperor Suyi and his ministers were meeting, instantly sending the high-ranking dignitaries into a panic. Chairs were kicked over as people scrambled to the floor, instinctive terror gripping them in the face of imminent death. Suyi never dreamed the enemy's assault would reach the palace so swiftly. Yet, just as some arrows were about to strike him, he suddenly displayed astonishing agility, leaping up from his throne to evade the barrage. As a member of the imperial family of the Wulwan Empire, Suyi possessed far more than just formidable political skills. Though his ability index fell short of level 5, what humans term the Epsilon tier. The imperial family subjected every heir to rigorous training from childhood, including combat drills. Thus, Suyi himself wielded the combat prowess of a top-tier Delta Psychic. Seeing the high-level conference room thrown into utter chaos, Suyi's eyes brimmed with sorrow and resignation. The Wulwan Empire had endured for centuries, weathering countless major crises. Yet he never imagined his own reign would witness such a calamity. He stroked the ring on his left hand, yet did not rush to execute the mutual destruction plan. Hope was not yet utterly lost. Marshal Jinglu was still fighting. Moreover, as Emperor of the Wulwan Empire, he was not so easily defeated. Do not presume the imperial family can be intimidated so easily. Suyi deftly dodged the barrage of pattern arrows, paying no heed to the terrified screams of his ministers. Escorted by his guards, he left the conference chamber and headed deeper into the palace. By now, the imperial guards and security forces had detected the presence of Yang Xinxin and her two companions. Or rather, they had never truly concealed themselves from the start. Banchi, wielding twin crescent blades, issued the execution order with a gaze seething with hatred, his voice icy cold. Exterminate them all. Soldiers roared in unison, raising their laser weapons. Around the palace, massive mechanical war beasts and combat spacecraft materialized one after another, instantly forming a seemingly impenetrable defensive line. Chapter 2241, A single arrow breaks the imperial city. A dense hail of lasers erupted toward the trio's position. Yang Xinxin stood rooted to the spot. Bam! The snow Mithraea from the southwest region drew an alloy whip from her waist and stepped forward. She exhaled softly, releasing a long, icy trail of white smoke. This seemingly harmless mist spread rapidly, freezing the entire street in an instant. A thick layer of frost blossomed across Bam's body, her hair, braided into a thick, long whip, turned completely white. She swung the whip in her hand, coiling it into spirals that rapidly formed a raging blizzard. Laser barges fired by the military struggled to penetrate the massive blizzard's defenses. Banshee felt no surprise at this, yet a weight settled deeper within his heart. Anyone who had fought their way this far possessed the strength of a fifth-level life form. News had long reached the military headquarters. They were under attack by a formidable invader. Thus Banshee knew the Imperial Palace would inevitably face its own battle. "Continue," he commanded, his voice icy. Powerful mechanical war beasts and the main cannons of combat spacecraft activated, unleashing increasingly terrifying energy blasts concentrated on Bam. Bam snorted coldly. Her whip lashed out violently, and the whistling wind roared like the wrath of a god. Instantly, a colossal storm capable of engulfing a 10-kilometer radius, enveloped in a terrifying cold current, surged directly toward the Imperial Guard's battle formation. Before high-tier mutant, even those at the White Chariot level were godlike beings. Weapons capable of threatening their lives were now a rarity in this world. Not even the advanced technology of the Wulwan Empire could match them. The storm swirled, engulfing those dreaded energy weapons and flinging the massive mechanical war beasts aside like earthworms. Banshee roared, "Any who dare invade the capital of the Wulwan Empire shall be executed without mercy." He descended from the sky, his crescent sword striking downward with overwhelming force. A massive, deep blue blade of light slashed out, cleaving Bam's icy storm clean in two. Its initial momentum was utterly shattered. Witnessing this, Bam immediately tightened her grip on the whip in her hand, her face etched with bitter resignation. Yet Yang Xinxin seized her thick wrist. "Leave this one to Teacher Liang." Her tone was cool. Hearing this, Bam recalled the Undertaker's instructions before they came. She instantly reined in her battle intent, nodded, and stepped back. Commander Banshee of the Imperial Guard, hailed as the palace's immortal shield wall. "Teacher Liang, you break down that wall." Yang Xinxin stated coolly. Everything was calculated, including Banshee's presence. Bam would handle the remaining Imperial Guards and mechanized forces, while Liang Yu dealt with Banshee. As for Yang Xinxin, she would seize the commander. Commander Banshee of the Imperial Guard, Ability Index 28,000, Enhancement Type Ability User, 9 Heavens Mysterious Goddess Liang Yu, Ability Index 25,000, Enhancement Type Ability User. Liang Yu always seemed to face opponents with higher ability index than her own. This wasn't because Yang Xinxin deliberately set her up with difficult challenges. Rather, it stemmed from Liang Yu's profoundly ingrained martial prowess and the exoskeletal armor crafted for her by Liu Karen. These factors completely erased the disparity in ability index between her and Banshee. No, it wasn't merely erased. It surpassed it by a wide margin. Liang Yu nodded, reaching behind her to draw 2 blades from her weapon holster. 2 curved hooks. Her opponent wielded crescent blades, so she too would confront them with dual-handed weapons. The parting hooks were exotic weapons capable of controlling an opponent's armament, even seizing swords. These were Liang Yu's chosen tools to showcase her formidable martial prowess. Bam positioned himself to the side, using his abilities to contain the entire Imperial Guard unit. Liang Yu, dual parting hooks in hand, advanced step by step. With each step, her internal energy surged threefold. From the acupoints of her body, the chi of a martial arts master began to flow, coiling around her form without dispersing. The power of her energy formed a unique field. Even soldiers attempting to attack Liang Yu found her protective aura impenetrable. Energy is a force entirely distinct from supernatural abilities. Yet its origin was inseparable from the source of supernatural power, telekinesis. Martial artists cultivating internal strength and Qigong relied on meditation to shape a unique, self-controlled energy within their bodies. Simply put, this was the force of life itself. Liang Yu gripped the parting hook with both hands, her eyes fixed unwaveringly on Banqi, the Imperial Guard commander stationed at the gate. This was a challenge. Banqi sensed Liang Yu's intent, yet he merely frowned slightly without rushing in recklessly. His duty was to safeguard the palace, not engage in combat. But now, avoiding battle was no longer an option. On his side, Epsilon stood alone. Opposite him, 3 stood ready. Banqi whipped his long whip, unleashing a blinding blizzard that slammed directly into the frontal energy shield. The whip appeared supple, yet it could extend over 50 meters. Only the most skilled herdsman could possibly wield such an immense whip. As it lashed against the energy barrier, it erupted with terrifying energy fluctuations. The sheer commotion sent a collective gasp of awe through the Imperial Guards watching from the rear. They had no retreat, they must hold their ground. But at that moment, the second Epsilon moved. Liang Yu's speed surged. Transforming into a black shadow, she swung her parting hook with brutal force. A massive surge of energy, like a black curtain wall, slammed violently into the energy shield. Boom! The Black Chariot-class attack caused the energy shield to tremble even more violently. Yang Xinxin kept her hands at her sides, holding back from intervening for now. She was waiting. The imperial family of the Wulwan Empire surely had other powerful trump cards up their sleeves. Otherwise, Emperor Suyi would have already fled this place with his men. Lu Karen, commanding the skies above, could monitor every movement here. They couldn't escape. Liang Yu and Bam joined forces, causing the energy shield to sway precariously. The Imperial Guard's attacks vanished like stones thrown into the sea, unable to scratch the 3 Epsilons. Commander. If this continues, the shield won't hold. A general warned Banqi. It wasn't that their energy shield was weak, rather, the entire Wulwan Empire's energy system had been drained dry by Xinglu. Most of its power was being diverted to sustain the heavenly iron curtain enveloping the nation's periphery. Compounding this, the subterranean destruction wrought by the burrowing beasts led by Totoro had further disrupted energy supply. The palace's energy shield now teetered on the brink of collapse.